don't think there's a roaming market.
Cameras all good at the back, yeah? All good. Excellent. Wait for the two England Test captain Ben Stokes. James, go ahead.
Lord was the near perfect start to this new era of Test cricket. Where do you feel you can improve here? Where would you like to see improvements from the side?
Well, I think obviously there was a very, very good team performance. And for us to know, obviously, we want to go out there and perform, to at least the same level, if not better. When you dominate a game like we did last week, obviously it's hard to look back and go, where could we improve? But no, I was really happy with how everything went last week. But obviously we're always looking to put in, better performances as we go on. But yeah, if we can perform better as a team than we did last week, then I think we'll be in pretty good shape this week.
We've seen the West Indies fight back before, haven't we? Are you wary of that? And could there be a backlash, if you like?
Well, you're always wary of your opposition. We know that West Indies are a very, very proud team. And we've always had competition against them. So, obviously last week we're not taking for granted, we're not taking into consideration how the rest of the series is going to go. Because international sport, as good as it is, it's also a great leveller. So we know that we can't take how last week played out for us into what this week's going to offer.
Mark Wood comes back into the side. Why have you opted for him over other bowlers at your disposal?
Well, I think you look at the squad, and we picked the best team that we felt, the best 11 out of the squad. So you look at the way Gus bowled last week, not only with his 12 wickets, but obviously, finding another bowler who can bowl, between 87 and 90 mile an hour. It's very exciting at the prospect of seeing Gus Atkinson running at one end and Mark Wood at the other. Woody had an unbelievable summer last year in the Ashes. He was a massive player for us when he came into the team, huge impact. Everyone knows why, because of his pace. And yeah, he's in the squad, and we picked the best 11.
James Anderson, life after James Anderson, beginning with life with James Anderson, now in his mentoring role. How's that begun? How have you found his input?
Yeah, I think the last 2 days has been really good. It was. You can see that the lads are really, really desperate to pick his brains. Obviously, before that, it's been a bit different because Jimmy's been preparing and has done, always prepared for his game. So it's sort of like let him do his stuff and try and pick his brains as much as he can. That feels appropriate. But now, obviously, he's standing there, and you can just see the lads were just just drawn towards him and wanted to pick his brains about what he thinks, how he holds certain deliveries. And yeah, I think it's been a very, very smooth transition, but there's no doubt there's still emotion with Jimmy because it's only been a week. But yeah, I think with him still being around the team and knowing that, I think he knows that he's still got so much more to offer English cricket, in particular with the ball. And yeah, I couldn't think of a better bloke to be able to pass on the knowledge of fast bowling to the guys we have at the moment.
And finally for me, how does Ben Ducky understand his partners expecting? Do you have a plan B in case that happens? Well, I guess tomorrow morning. What do you think?
Yeah, well, look, I think there's a plan in place with Ben and his partner. If it's one of those things where we'll just sort of have to make a decision if it was to happen, before the game started and we were batting, for example. But if anything happens throughout the Test match, then Ben will go and then just come back into the team. I think he's obviously incredibly desperate to play this Test match because it's his home ground. But the message from me and Baz is just look. In these situations, family always comes first. So whatever decision you end up making, you know that you'll get mine and Baz's full support. But yeah, at the moment he's obviously in the team to play.
Dan Knowles on standby to open.
If worst case, well, it doesn't sound. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Rory, with Jimmy sort of out of the team, are you looking for anyone to change how they go about and sort of pick up some of the slack that you carry in the field?
No, not really. I see it as an opportunity for someone like Chris Stokes to take on, a more of I guess, a leadership role in terms of the bowling unit. Wokesy's a very experienced bowler, very experienced player. Obviously, we've been so used to Jimmy and Brody been doing that, but now we don't have that. But I see that as a great opportunity for Wokesy. Phenomenal performer, in particular in England, and great for him now to be able to lead the attack. Obviously, myself, I've always had quite a lot of input in there, speaking to the bowlers, what I think as well, because I'm a bowler as well. So, no, look, I just see this as a great opportunity for someone else to be able to stand up and be that person.
Was his 50th cap as well? I mean, he said over the weekend that he was not sort of putting a clock on himself in the same way that everyone's throwing forward and looking at the future challenges ahead. Is that how you see it? He's getting his chance and it's sort of open-ended in terms of the winter and stuff like that? Yeah,
definitely. 50 caps is a huge honour for someone. It's a lot of games, it's a lot of test matches played for your country. And yeah, look, I seen what you say the other day, how much Stuart and Jimmy improved as they got older and older. So, if he's taking that mindset into wanting to always improve, even if he is getting older and older, I guess that's what everyone's mindset is. But no, 50 caps, unbelievable achievement, and rightly deserves plaudits tomorrow when he gets that cap.
And you didn't play last summer, but we rewind to 22. That was a game that really began to forge the identity that you guys wanted to build this team around. There's only 4 survivors from that game. Has that surprised you, sort of the rate of change within the team?
Oh, didn't know that. Thanks. Look, I think that's 2 years ago. As I said in last week, 2 years is a long time for progression, and that's what I want this team to be focused on. Is obviously it is about the here and now and the challenges that we've got in front of us. But as long as we're still looking to progress, then that's a great mindset to have. And sometimes progression does mean that teams and squads will change. But 2 years is a long time for things to change.
Well, and have you decided who among you, Mark and Gus will take the new ball?
Yeah, we got Gus and Wokesy taking the new ball.
Because he's not done much of that much for Surrey, has he? So it was kind of what do you see in him and that role?
Yeah, it was. I think I said last week, the first time I saw Gus live was all the way back in the World Cup in India. And he just had all the attributes of a very, very good bowler. And I think a lot of it is probably to do with the Duke's ball as well, with how it's behaved. There's not actually been that much movement in the air with the ball. It's generally been, off the surface, hitting the seam. And I think Gus is a very, very good exponent of that. And then as it gets to sort of 10, 12 overs, you start to get a buff on one side, and that's when it really starts to swing. So, that's obviously where sort of me and Woody can come in. And Woody bowling at 94 mile an hour with the ball swinging is going to be tough for anyone.
Julian, I'll finish with Stokes.
Yeah, hello there. West Kings obviously have a one warm-up game. I mean, from your experience of touring, just how hard is it to sort of hit the ground running when you've got sort of minimal preparation like that in conditions you're not used to?
Oh, we had to deal with that in India. Have we had enough game time, match prep? And I think that was taken from how it was a long time ago. Cricket's completely different now. There's so much played all over the world. Franchise cricket or whatever it may be, that it is very tough to find a good preparation and build-up window for any team. I think it's just going with the times, really. I'm sure everyone would, want to do things the way that they feel is best necessary for the team. And, we're a team who feel that we gel together when we're training together and putting input into each other, as opposed to spending too much time out in the field and warm-up games, because, everyone likes to get good quality in training and nets and whatever it may be. But you do feel like you sometimes need a day in the dirt just to get your legs and the body used to it again. I think nowadays there's a few too many comments from people who were obviously playing when that was the sort of norm, if that makes sense. But it's always down to what the team and the people who are in charge to make those decisions feel is best for that team to get into a series.
Thank you. Chris?
Ben, how close was Devon Medicine to a debut this week?
Yeah, we obviously consider everyone in the squad. No one's in the squad here just for a jolly, if that makes sense. But I think when you get someone like, you know, Woody back into your squad, it's too hard to look past that. You look at the summer he had last year, the impact that he had in England, and he's one of our best bowlers, and there'll be opportunities for Dylan, no doubt, in the summer. But at this moment in time, Woody makes it into our strongest 11.
Thank you. Ben, you sit there, we'll do a written huddle as well, which we'll put in a bad way if there's demand for it. So, yeah, just come round with written guys and then we'll do that. Thank you.